So in this video, I'm going to tell you my story on how I got my first ever freelancing project. And then I'm going to give you 3 tips on how you can do the same and just stuff I've learned in general. So the cool part about freelancing is that you make money. And money is always good, right? Like it reduces reliance from your parents, it helps you feel validated, and it's money. You get to spend it. You get to be an adult citizen. The only problem is getting your freelance project is no easy piece of cake. It's hard. You're competing with hundreds of thousands of people, out of which maybe hundreds are applying to every single project that you're applying. And it's just very difficult to be noticed when you're starting out. So I'm going to tell you the story of how I got started. So I started freelancing on a platform called Upwork. At that time, it was called Odesk. I've told this story many times, so it always gives me goosebumps when I say it, right? Because it shows me what my roots are. And it's always nice to remember your roots. So I remember applying to like a ton of projects on Odesk. I made a good profile. It looked good. Everything was in the right place. And I got through nothing. I got rejected on every single project I applied to. And then finally, there was this Malaysian eye clinic. There was this guy and he wanted a website done for his clinic. And at that time, we didn't have single page websites. We made many page websites, right? So he wanted like a 10 or 20 page website for his clinic. And he said, hey, I'd love to work with you. So we got started together. The project was for $100. I worked my ass off, right? First month, change after change after change. I thought I'll be done in like a week, but I was also learning on the project. And the client was also like asking for too many things. So we didn't get done. I think it took like 2 or 3 months for it to complete, like proper complete, although the timeline was supposed to be a month. And I got paid $100. Look, for other people, $100 is like, what is that? It's like, that time it was 6,000. Today is like 7,000 something. That time was 6,000 rupees. But I felt happy. I was like, I made this by myself. This is my first earning. And plus, I got this earning without anybody's help. I got it online and I was working with somebody from Malaysia. Imagine, at that time, it was not common for Indians and like Americans and Malaysians and all these other people online to talk to each other. So for me, it was new to connect with somebody from a different side of the world and learn from their experiences. And that project gave me the portfolio, the rating, and the confidence to go out and take the next few projects. And ratings on Upwork really matter. So this first project gave me a good rating. He gave me like 5 on 5. And I was able to take this rating. I was able to take the confidence that I gained from it. And also this mind-blowing potential of I can work with somebody in Malaysia and make actual money. That really, kicked me into second or third or fourth gear, right? Because I didn't stop from then. And I haven't stopped for like a decade now. So 3 learnings. The first learning is to keep expectations low, but to understand that compounding works. See, we all want to sit and freelance for like $100 an hour. We all want to tell our friends, ki boss, I'm making $1 lakh a week freelancing. But the problem is that doesn't happen instantly. There's a compounding process. And as you know, with compounding, the initial amount always looks very small, right? My initial amount was $100. I didn't know that from $100 over 2-3 months, I'm going to go to $150 an hour. I never knew that, right? But my expectations were so low. I only wanted to make pocket money at that time. I didn't think I'd do any better than that. So don't go in this looking at my story or somebody else's story and say, I want to make a crap ton of money, because I've seen these YouTube videos on freelancing. I did my research, right? You are not going to make that amount on day one. I can guarantee you that. If you're the exception or you got lucky, but in most cases you're not. But don't forget the power of compounding, because it always happens. The second tip is that you're not probably going to get a project till you apply to 100 projects yourself. Look, platforms like Upwork, and there are many platforms like Upwork today, all depend on the rating system. The more ratings you have, the more confidence a client has in you. When I hire from Upwork, I always hire people with like good history. I want to see history. I want to see the fact that you worked on good projects. So I hire like that. So you have to understand that to get that first rating, you need one project. To get that one project, you might have to apply to 100. Do not get discouraged, right? Some people apply to 3 projects, get no response, and then give up. They just shut off. I've seen this very often. Don't do it. You need 100. Just do the math in your head. I'm going to get 1% of projects that I apply to. Take a crack at 100. 5 will reply, out of which 1 will convert. Because even after somebody replies, it doesn't mean that they're going to give you the project. So out of every reply that I've had, maybe like 10-20% converts. Now, one thing you need to understand is it's not always going to be this tough. Today, if I apply to 100 projects, I'm probably going to close like 90 of them. right? My reply rate is very, very, very high because I have proof of work. I probably wouldn't even use the platform. I would have inbound people contacting me. I wouldn't even apply, right? So it gets better, it gets easier, but you need to approve something, right? And that proof is only going to come through struggle, and that struggle always comes from the first project. The next thing is to have a humble cover letter. My cover letter to the first guy that I closed, the Malaysian eye clinic, was something along the lines of, hey, I'm not very good with HTML, CSS, but I'm willing to learn, right? I've been reading up about it for, N number of days. I'm willing to give it a shot. And, if I don't do well, you cannot pay me. I actually said that in my cover letter. And that humility really got me that project. And even today, in certain cases where I don't know something, I become a student again. And I say that I don't know how to do this. Can you help me out? And people actually do help. People actually do give me opportunities if I'm struggling, if I'm in a completely new, uncharted field, right? So don't be afraid of being humble. Like, big problem with young kids today is you pack on an ego because of what you've done in college. Maybe you're in college, you're a cool kid in college, but that doesn't matter on an online platform when you're competing with 100,000 people that have proof of work. So drop the ego, go back, go zen, beginner's mind, and say with humility, I am learning, I'm trying to get better. And when you do get better, then you can afford to be cocky. The problem is movies, spoilers, right? In movies, in business deals, if you've seen Suits and stuff, it's all like, oh, I want this, otherwise you can screw off. But the world doesn't work like that. You can do that when you get experienced and you have like 30 projects under you. But when you're beginning out, to go with that attitude never works. I've never seen it work. Humility works much, much, much better and will land you that first project. Just stay at it. Finally, I want to tell you that the first project effect is powerful. A lot of people don't believe in freelance. Even today, I can tell you that 99% of India does not believe in online freelance. They like the idea, but they don't believe it's possible to run a career on it. And I used to have this one intern who never believed in the idea of like freelancing. And I forcefully made him freelance. I was like, just try one project. And like I said, right, after the first project, your mind is blown. It opens the unlimited opportunity part of your mind, because I never had that mindset of unlimited opportunity, but it opened it, right? It just opens the door and now you can do anything you want. Like even today, I know that if I fail at everything I do, I can go back and freelance. And I have the humility to do so. I'm happy to go back and say, hey, I did this, things didn't work out. Please give me a shot again, right? So have that humility. And one cool thing freelance did for me, right? For the first 5 years of my career where I was still figuring things out, is it gave me the cushion to fall back to. I never needed it, but I knew it was there. I knew that I can always go back and freelance because that first project effect opened my mind. So always remember that, and remember that it is possible to get your project. You just have to keep trying and follow what you've heard in this video. Thanks for your time. Bye.